There's one creature I wish I never learned about. When I first started reading about prehistoric creatures, I expected to feel wonder. And I did. But there was one animal that didn't give me wonder. It gave me something else, something closer to dread, because this one wasn't ancient. It wasn't buried safely in the time of dinosaurs. This one was here, walking the same land, drinking from the same rivers, as real, breathing human beings. This is Megalania, the largest land lizard that ever lived. And I think some part of us has always remembered it. Act 1, the world it ruled. Go back 50,000 years. Wombats the size of rhinos. Kangaroos that stood 8 feet tall. A continent of giants, evolving alone for millions of years. And somewhere in those forests, something ruled all of it. Something patient. Something that didn't need to rush. Megalania. Act 2, what it was. Here's what quietly unsettles me about Megalania. We've never found a complete skeleton. Not one. Every reconstruction you've ever seen is built from scattered teeth and a handful of bones. Scientists are still arguing about how big it got. Right now, the debate is not closed. What we do know, start with a Komodo dragon, 10 feet, built to kill, now double it, add 5 more feet, over 1,200 pounds. That's Megalania, at minimum, and even its name has been wrong for 165 years. Most people translate it as ancient giant butcher. That's a mistranslation. The man who named it, Sir Richard Owen, the same scientist who invented the word dinosaur, named it from the Greek for I roam. Ancient great wanderer. We've been calling a wanderer a butcher for over a century and a half. Act 3, the weapon. I've read about a lot of predators, fast ones, strong ones, ones with impossible teeth, but there's something about Megalania's hunting strategy I genuinely cannot get out of my head. It's not the sins, it's not the strength, it's the patience. In 2009, scientists published a study that changed everything. They were studying the Komodo dragon, Megalania's closest living relative. For decades, the story was simple. Komodo dragons kill with bacteria. Filthy mouths. Infection finishes the job. That story is wrong. Komodo dragons are venomous. The venom stops your blood from clotting and crashes your blood pressure. Hard, fast. Then they looked at Megalania's fossilized teeth and found grooves, the kind associated with venom delivery. Their conclusion, Megalania was likely the largest venomous vertebrate that ever lived. Now, here's the part I want you to really sit with. It doesn't need to overpower you. It bites you once, and then it steps back. You run. You think you got away. You might even feel okay at first, but inside your body, something is already working against you. Your blood won't clot. Your strength is fading. And Megalania just follows you. Not running, not charging, walking, because it already knows how this ends. That's the part that stays with me. Not the size, not the teeth, the patience. Act 4, the encounter. Here's the part that changes everything for me. 65,000 years ago, the first humans set foot in Australia. They crossed open ocean on primitive boats, arriving somewhere no human had ever been, and the animals had no fear of them. Nothing in their biology said, this is dangerous, but not Megalania. Megalania had been the apex predator for 2 million years. It didn't fear anything, including us, for 15,000 years, longer than all of recorded human civilization. We shared that continent with it, the same rivers, the same hunting grounds. We have no written record of those encounters, but we do have something. The Aboriginal Australians, the oldest continuous culture on Earth, have stories about giant lizards in their Dreamtime traditions. The Bundjalung people speak of the Dirawong, a massive, powerful goanna, not a monster, a teacher, a protector. In 1994, excavations in that same region turned up Megalania bones. Same land, same creature. Scientists have already proven that Aboriginal oral traditions encode real events, eruptions, floods, sea level changes, going back more than 10,000 years. So when I read those stories now, they don't feel like myth. They feel like memory, passed down, not to entertain, but to warn. Act 5. Did we kill it? Around 46,000 years ago, the giants started disappearing. The wombats, the kangaroos, the massive birds, one by one, continent-wide, and Megalania went with them. Humans arrived. 65,000 years ago, the extinction began. 46,000 years ago. The timing is not subtle. But here's the thought I keep coming back to. You don't need to hunt Megalania to make it go extinct. You just need to hunt everything it eats. Wipe out the giant wombats. Wipe out the giant kangaroos. And a 20-foot venomous predator slowly starves. Maybe we didn't slay the dragon. Maybe we just took away everything it needed to survive without even knowing what we were doing. You know what I think about most when I think about Megalania? Not the size, not the venom, that feeling, the one you get sometimes when you're somewhere quiet, somewhere dark, and everything goes still, and some part of you just knows that you're not alone. We call it irrational. We tell ourselves it's nothing. But what if it isn't? What if that feeling is something older? Something passed down generation to generation, from a time when something like Megalania was real, when the quiet wasn't safe. Maybe that fear isn't yours. Maybe it belongs to someone who came before you, someone who learned the hard way to be afraid of what they couldn't see. Megalania is gone, probably, but that feeling, that's still here.